Hi, boys. Are you taking good care of your girls? That's my boys in order. Mr. Oh, wait a minute. Is that a girl? No, that's Mr. Sky Blue male. His hen is down there, sitting on. So I have 4 nests with 6 different pairs eggs in them. This is Mr. Blue here, and his white-faced blue hen has cerulean and Cole's 2 embryos and the cockatiel egg under them. Hatch date looks like the 24th. I'm not really counting on any of these eggs hatching on the hatch date because fertility was spotty, so I don't know whether this is the 3rd and the 5th egg or the 1st and the 4th egg or whatever. So, but I do know that I start checking on that date. So there's Dottie and Wiz's cockatiel egg in there, and 2 of Cerulean's embryos. I just checked them, and they're all still viable. I am kind of expecting a few to fizzle, but we'll see. Okay, so this is Daintree and Callahan's 3 embryos in here. So she has all babies by one. One of the embryos seems to be a lot younger than the others. So we may end up doing some baby switching once they hatch out, depending on how disparate the ages are. Jeevian and Daughtry's one and only fertile egg is in here. It is not going to hatch on the 25th because it's a very young egg. It's probably her 4th. And Razzle Jr. and the unnamed girl, the Violet, that were down there, the last pair I kept together, that I stuck some just laid eggs under to see if there was any fertility. There was not. I do have 1 blank Clement egg in there that looked like maybe something was happening, but I'm not at all sure. But she did have 2 quite viable embryos, so Razzle Jr. has 2 in here, and these babies are going to be violet, and this little guy is going to be a green, so they'll be easy to tell apart. And then this is Robin and Dassite's 3 embryos. This is Robin's, the hen that laid in the box in the corner. And all of these embryos, I just checked them today. They've been in here for 2 days, and they're all still viable. So I will check them again in 3 days. The other thing I'm checking for is these hens are still laying their own eggs, and I don't really want them to hatch because they'll be much younger, and besides, they already all have 3 embryos apiece. So each one of them does have an egg in it from the parakeet hen, but they're blank so far, so they will be embryos that are much younger than the ones that I put in. So in 3 days I will check and throw out the youngest embryo, keep the oldest 3 and throw out the youngest one. And then any eggs they lay after that will be so far behind the foster embryos that they have in there that I can just wait. They'll hatch out 3 chicks, and I'll just pull the last egg. So anyway, fingers crossed. This is what's happening for breeding. Everybody else is getting medicated, and of course, I will have to medicate this entire group along with their babies. And I'm thinking about when I'm going to start that medication. I don't actually have to wait until the babies launch and everybody's grown up. I could start them, I can't give it to little teeny tiny babies, but I could feasibly start them at when the chicks are still 3 weeks old. And that would get them done before all the rest of the birds are finished with their medications. These guys would get started because this is highly contagious. I don't really know how it's spread, and as far as I know, nobody does, but it could be just by air. So having these guys still possibly sick while all of those guys are done with their medication and better could reinfect. So I want to start these guys and get them at least a week into their medication so that they're not contagious when the other guys come off their medication. So, but I have time to figure that out. Let's see if we get any of these babies. Okay.